Buenos nachos, amigos, and welcome to Hallyujuku, a podcast about East Asian pop culture where we have fun and discuss all the things going on, well, the things that interest us, and things that catch our attention in the world of East Asian pop culture. I'm PD Rave, your man with no plan. Here with me, as always, is my tag team partner, my right-hand man on my left-hand side, Brandon Cooper, aka King Kaz. How you doing, Kaz?
I'm doing well, my good friend. Let's talk about some East Asian pop culture.
Let's talk about some shit. Of course, we start off every episode talking about what's new, what's got our attention, what's been going on, what's interested us. Kaz, what's new?
So, not a lot for me this week. I misordered these, but I'm gonna do them in this order I have them anyway. So there was a new release from iKON. Actually, I think this is a couple days old, but whatever. It does. You know what? It doesn't matter. I don't know why I ever say that like it matters. So they're coming out with their new album is gonna release soon, if it has not already by the time this releases. This is one of their songs, Love Scenario, and you know what? It's not bad. I have had my ups and downs with iKON in the past and will into the future, but this one I actually enjoy.
Yeah, this one's not bad. I mean, it has a really good moments. It has good moments. I would say really good, but it has good moments. It has a nice vibe. It's mostly harmless. I don't know. It's fine.
It's not super swaggy, which is kind of what you tend to get from iKON. They're that group. They're like kind of have this like urban super swag about them, and you can usually kind of see that in their style and how they're styled, and you know, there's stuff like that. Like unlike Winner, who kind of seems to have a little more broadness in their styling and in their stuff. Like they kind of get to do adult swag. They get to do like, you know, hood swag, you know, bro swag. They have the wider variety in Winter.
Yeah, it's like I think like it was summed up I think best when I think an Asian junkie to talk about that iKON is YG's group for teens, for high school like high school age and teenagers. And Winter is their group for like the 20-somethings, the college age kids, you know. It's their more mature group. I think this is even being chill and less like try hardish. It's still that kind of youngish, youthful. It's you know, it's fun. But it's not. I don't know if this is gonna make me. It's gonna convert me into an iKON fan. But
yeah, like we like, where's Winter, right? Winter came out, we were like, they're alright, but you know, it's not great. And then like as they went, they got better and better and better and better, and like they have a lot of they have a catalog that I'm like I could kind of go to and enjoy Winter.
Yeah,
you know,
and yeah,
but yeah, so that's that. I definitely say it's worth a check out. Like it's on their YouTube channel. YouTube.com/iKON. Go check it out if you're into that. You know, we're worth a good listen. But now we move on. Now we move on to my boy Jay Park. Oh, the boy. This is Jay Park and ex Yoltron. Forget About Tomorrow. And this is the Jay Park, ladies and gentlemen, that we talk about. Straight up R&B Jay Park.
Straight up baby making music Jay Park.
It don't get no better.
Yeah.
Just listen to it. Listen to what is is that Jay Park? Oh yeah, it is.
It's a singing voice. It's everything that is I think you can unequivocally say is good is Jay Park's strengths. For all the kind of like we like to roast Jay Park quite a bit on this podcast. because it's fun and he's very roastable. But we don't hate him. It's not hatred. We don't dislike him. We don't want to beat up on him. We don't want to hate him. We just, we like to roast him a little bit. Sometimes you roast each other. It's out of love. But because when your boy fucked up, he needs to be roasted. But this is a Jay Park that I think lives up to his strength. It's his singing, it's his dancing, like it's him with his crew. With fantastic choreography, like him showing his moves, like him showing his like his R&B swag. Like I think it's Jay Park playing to every one of his strengths.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I enjoy Jay Park as an entertainer. I think he hits a lot of the good just marks, and this is definitely just like right the fuck up there with like what I enjoy from him. And the video I think is just it's simple, but it's really, really, really fun, man. Like it's just it hits really well. Like it just matches the vibe of the fucking song so much. Like there's just something about it that just like really, really, really just links really well. Like with the beat and the style of the song and all that stuff. Like it's just fucking flavored.
Yeah.
Flavored.
Seasoned. And it works really well. I think that he has access to a veritable crew of great dancers, and he is a great dancer in himself. So it is basically just the video is just a showcase for the dance, like his choreography, and it does a great job of it as well. Like there's a reason, You got to remember, he was the leader of that was like AOMG before it was a record label. It was a dance group, It was a dance crew. So, damn, I got a dry throat now. But yeah, overall, just fantastic. This is if like the thing is like. If you're wondering why does Hallyujuku love Jay Park? This here, here. So I give you this here. I put it on your plate. Like I serve it to you. This is I present it to you. This is why. Jay Park. Yeah, fantastic. As we move forward, we get into what's new with me. It's my tone. Couple things new with me. You got a new haircut, just like a minute before we recorded. Not new haircut. I got my old haircut again. I've secured my flight for South by Southwest and my time off. Things are kind of in motion once again for South by Southwest 2018. So look forward to that. Might actually finally commit to doing some of the content and like preparation, helping people out with South by Southwest, like the how to attend South by Southwest video, because I think people are still a little bit confused. Because there's some things that South by Southwest that they don't communicate openly, and for good reason. Things like the fact that no matter what you see, no matter what that tells you on the website, no matter what they hide from you on the website, they're not going to do away with you can just show up and pay a cover charge to these music showcases. Like, there's not that many people getting it with badges at most of these. At least for a lot of these shows. But that's in the future, so look forward to that. But song wise, I think I'll start with a song that is almost like I almost feel like I'm going to end up looking like a little slightly hypocritical, because I kind of like was lukewarm on the though I liked but didn't love the Icon song. This is, you can almost say it's similar in vibe, but I actually like this song a lot better. From Red Velvet, from the repackage of their recent album.
So, that's funny.
The song called "Bad Boy."
Like I might be biased when it comes to Red Velvet. I enjoyed this, right? And you have two girl group songs in here.
Yeah. I'm the girl group guy. I kind of live in the gimmick now.
But so we'll talk about this one first. I like Red Velvet. I've kind of always enjoyed Red Velvet. I don't go hard for Red Velvet because I kind of don't go into too many girl groups now because it's like the landscape for girl groups is just really weird right now. And what's going on with them and stuff like that. So, but Red Velvet, I enjoy. I've enjoyed since Ice Cream Cake. I enjoy a lot of their songs. I enjoy a lot of their personalities and stuff like that. And I like this group, so I like a lot of what they do. I think this song is kind of basic, but I enjoy it. I wouldn't very, very much compare it to the Icon song that much because it's a little more up tempo than that one was.
That's probably why I liked it a lot more.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I definitely did enjoy this.
Yeah, I like the vibe of the song, and like it was cool and fun to listen to. Like it had a little bit more tempo in that Icon song. It had a nice vibe to it. Like the beat is cool, like a nice little straightforward, nothing complicated, very straightforward, like trap pop beat. And I think it works well. Like the little touches, like the well, like the little stuff art, and like the little like touches in the choreography, which are nice. Like it's very much like this is, I think, probably one of the better Velvet tracks. If you want to like, because we forgot that if you break down Red Velvet's discography, they originally were, you have the Red Velvet, you have the Red tracks, which are their more poppy, high energy tracks, and the Velvet track, which is the more mature tracks, and the Velvet tracks haven't shined as much as the Red tracks. They had like Automatic, which is okay, and like and I forget what was the other one. It was like I even forget the name of the song. It was off of one of the I think around Ice Cream Cake. That had like a little bit more of like a ballady, like different track. It was another Velvet track. So it wasn't that, again, the fact that I forgot the name tells you how memorable that song was. But I think this one is stronger. I think it's that still kind of encompassing that Velvet vibe, but I think doing it a lot better, and I think it works well as far as like working for as a follow-up track on one of those classic repackage album follow-up tracks. I think it works really well, and I think that they hit their visual peak on the like they're visually, there's just like like it's almost like no word, like it's just, they look fantastic, and it's like utterly captivating.
So the other one you have in here is a Twice song.
It's a Japanese Twice song.
Yeah.
This is Twice getting to the J-pop market. So here's the thing. So these couple of songs, so this connects to the previous song and connects to the following song. I had recently gone to like a little bit of a trip to our J-pop and looked at like what tried to look at like top posts of like the last year, and trying to get out there and reach out. And one of the top posts was Twice. Like it was like I ended up back at K-pop, and by roundabout ways. And it's Candy Pop, a song off of their second Japanese single, I believe. So the second Japanese single, and it's fun. It's not the most. It's it's Twice. So what it is just a solid, fun bubblegum pop effort.
Yeah, and that could be the problem, right? Because I think that's becoming to be the problem, right? What I like of K-pop, right, sounds nothing like J-pop.
Yeah.
But what more and more reminds me of J-pop, right? Because like I was like, man, this is like reminds me of like an AKB song or some shit, and I was just like, oh, this is just like a miss for me with Twice, right? And it's those bubblegum pop songs. I just don't think I like the bubblegum pop stuff anymore.
Yeah.
Like it just doesn't hit with me right now. Like
that's definitely understandable. It's one of those things where it's like you can it's not for everyone. It's not for everyone, but it's for a lot of people. It's just nice, fun, pleasant, solid. I have fun with it, but I definitely understand that it's not exactly the most deep music. It's not exactly gonna reinvent the wheel. But it works for them. And I don't know. I haven't really. I think for me, also what helps is that I don't get to listen to Twice all that much since they ain't on Spotify, so it doesn't I don't get sick of it. Because I get to just enjoy it every once in a while. I can only enjoy it every once in a while. I will say they don't need. I would love for them to try something different. And I would love them to try, a change of pace and a new concept. The problem is, why would they? So that's the hard part.
I feel like you do what works.
Yeah,
and if the core fan base loves it and it's getting you new fans as well, then you keep doing that, right? Yeah. Like marketing and business wise, just it doesn't always have to be what I enjoy from your group.
Yeah, exactly. I think this is a fun song. I think honestly, compared to this is not up there with their main singles and their main anthems. This is no TT. This is no, this is no cheered up, shut up. It's just, it's a single. It's a pop single that will work for the Japanese market, and did work and has been working. Their music has been working because they've been they've been gaining some traction, which has been unprecedented. Well, not unprecedented, but it's been a long time coming. Also, let's just appreciate JYP's Brock looking ass in this video.
That was something.
It was just beautiful. The anime parts of this video, them trying to escape the anime that they're stuck in. JYP looking like fucking Brock. It's just amazing. All
right. So what else you got?
What else I got? Another thing that I was reminded of. It's a group that I know of. It's Wagaki Band. It's a group that we've talked about before. And their new song, which I forgot what it was from the Google Translate I did a little while ago. I think their most recent song, Snow Shadow Robot. If we translate it.
So this is a band that mixes traditional but mostly traditional Japanese instruments and makes kind of metal-ish music, metal in theme kind of music, and it sounds really good, and they're really good at it, and it's fucking fun as fuck.
Yeah, it's really cool. It is cool. It is. I mean, it's right in their name. Wagaki is the name for the traditional instruments, so they're the traditional instrument band. Literally. And they also, I believe the other thing with them is that they also cover Vocaloid songs. I think that's what they're doing, covering Vocaloid songs. I always read that as a thing that it's supposed to be what they're doing, but I'm not exactly sure. Again, it's hard to know much about Japanese music because there's not a lot of translated info, or at least it's not like as easily available, and we don't dive into Japanese music as much as we should, and as much as I want us to do more often, just to expand our horizons.
If we had started the show a few years earlier, it would have been better because I was like, super into Japanese music and very early in the Korean music, so like,
yeah,
it would have been different.
But now,
but music tastes change over time.
Yeah. But at least now we'll do. We'll make an effort because it's not just about like getting into like idol music. It's about because there's so much. It's a huge country and a huge consumer market.
Yeah. Well, the other thing that makes it hard isn't not just a translation thing, but sometimes it's just hard to get that stuff outside of that region.
Yeah.
In Japan, sometimes it's just very enclosed with things. Like things don't resonate as internationally as like K-pop does, right? Like K-pop tries to resonate internationally. A lot of the Japanese music market doesn't. It's very enclosed into Japan and regions close to it, unless something becomes really, really big, like Vocaloids and idol music and things like that. Like,
or it's somebody that just wants it more. Like as an individual, like Kyari Pami Pami, who has made bigger efforts to be open to multiple like markets, and baby metal, putting their stuff on YouTube, and it's one of those things where it's on an individual basis rather than as an industry effort. like in J-pop, certain artists would love to put their music out there to multiple markets. In K-pop, it's the industry that's pushing like everything in internationally. So it's like it's a whole like different thing. Like Cream, the group would love to like, they're very much hip hop influenced. They do like that all that stuff, and they would love to have an international audience, but they're not going to have that same thrust as the same like concentrated industry-wide government-backed thrust, like that K-pop groups and Korean hip-hop groups have. So it's like it's tough, but I will endeavor to be better in including the Juku in Hallyujuku, because we want it to be exploring not just one area of things that is already getting international attention. We want to everything that I think every podcast that I do and every endeavor that I do of like these like creative efforts, it's always like you can almost encompass all three podcasts that I've done in the thought of expanding your horizon beyond forcing yourself out of your comfort zones when it comes to like media. Asking other people for suggestions, looking out of your usual places with, be it Fanny Pack, which is like where I made sure to look out for different kind of organizations that weren't all the same ones, and showing them to people. Record Breakers, where, four people with completely different music tastes giving each other albums, and this where we like where we kind of like did a thing to give ourselves a reason to like check our K-pop every day, and like check YouTube for new K-pop music videos and things like that. So I'm gonna stick to that initiative more. I promise that. That's like my promise for the new year and going forward. Fighting. Yeah.
So news?
Yep. So let's transition over to our news now that we've done. Let me get off that soapbox. Transition over to the news. I don't know if I want to call it a soapbox, but whatever. But yeah, transition over to our headlines while I cue the things. So join us. I always forget to switch our overlay to the headlines one when we do headlines. Welcome back to headlines.
Hey, what you got?
Let's talk about some headlines. All right, I got this. First off, which some really cool, interesting, really cool news out of Japan. Speaking of Japanese pop music, speaking of idols, a new transgender idol group has started activities. Stardust Promotion, home to such notable acts as Yui, Memorial Clover Z, and Orange Range, has launched a new idol group, Himitsu no Otome. The idol group was formed in 2017 and consists of 3 members, Natsuki, Gorina, and Kokoro. What makes them special is that they marketed themselves as rainbow idols. All of them are transgender women who seem to be involved in the LGBT scene. They will have their first live on February 27th. Himitsu no Otome's Stardust profile page introduces them as being sometimes cool, sometimes cute. Quote, sometimes cool, sometimes cute, end quote. The profile page also states the following, quote, being different is okay, aiming towards a time when words such as LGBT have disappeared, end quote. This is odd. The latter part probably means that they hope to see a world where it isn't necessary to label people based on their sexual orientation or sexual identity anymore. So far, so good. Let's hope we have enough vocal skills and sass to attract the audience.
So my thought on this is like in Japan, right? I think this is a good thing in a sense, right? Like I think if presented correctly, right, this is a like you said, right, it's more of a like a push for equality kind of thing, right? Through
representation, I think big thing, like through normalization and representation. Yeah.
It could go way south depending on what the marketing and the narrative becomes, right? And then that's the only part I worry about. Everything else I think is perfectly fine.
Yeah,
you
have a nice little trailer. Yeah, and they talk about things here and there. They have a nice little trailer where you get to kind of see what their approach is and a little bit of like what their goals are about this.
And I think that's interesting. I think you keep the narrative clear and positive and make it not super preachy. And you provide a good entertainment factor, then I think you do a good thing of having the I think you do the good thing of what's the word I'm looking at? You do the good thing of having a positive message with good entertainment, and I think that's always a good thing, right?
Yeah. So yeah, that's what's exciting about this is that it's like it's the line in Perfect Dark by Samus, all kids trying to get that mirror view. All the kids, so many different kids, different walks of life. If they can see somebody that looks or is like them, it could be a positive influence just in their lives, and it could be a positive influence in the lives of people around them, which is really cool. So I'm looking forward to what comes from this group, and I wish them all the best. Kind of just hoping for all the best for everything around them. Hopefully, just have fun and do the thing. All right. So, from that positivity to some whackness, we'll get back to, I guess, positivity at the end, but at the end of the headlines, but maybe, I don't know, probably not. Monsta X fan says K-pop night gave fans the group's hotel info, plus the concert was a mess. Yesterday, a concert with Monsta X, 7, Tahiti, and 7 o'clock. Don't know who the fuck 7 o'clock are. Was put on in London at Wembley Arena. By K-pop night. The venue holds about 13,000 people. You know Wembley Arena, which is a problem because only 700 tickets were sold, and reports were that as low as 300 people showed up. And you have tweets like one's from like BTS Europe. Yeah, unfortunately, the K-pop cannot party in Wembley with Monsta X and 7 more artists has sold 700 tickets and are now letting people go in for free. Please encourage the artists enjoying right now. This is just saddening. The weird part that this is all due to lack of interest, as many people didn't even know the event was going on.
Like it's really weird, right? They did all this thing to set this up and put this on and like and do all this, and they got the proper venue, they got all that shit, but they didn't advertise.
Yeah,
it's like, yo, you skipped a part. Like,
yeah, and
like,
and a lot of
who was on that checklist.
And a lot of it came down to the fact that like it comes down to anybody's had like live events and done live events and the history of K-pop live events outside of Korea.
And 7 o'clock is a relatively new band. I was gonna put their song in, but I was gonna save it just to kind of let the 7 o'clock thing be out there.
Yeah. Well, let's know about them. But like the thing, it's just a whole lot of shadiness around organizations, which is nothing new. Like it's just the long history of K-pop events held outside of Korea. Well, honestly, probably and inside of Korea, but it's just like the whole thing that the price tickets were ridiculous. They booked the Wembley for this event, which is a huge venue for an event that they barely promoted and didn't necessarily have huge groups. As much as we love 7, as much as we love Monsta X, they're like, I don't know if they're really necessarily groups that play Wembley. Like this is like, that's not. They're not going to sell at Wembley. Like, it's just, it is like I wish it wasn't the case, but it's another in the long line of like the shadiness of K-pop events outside of Korea. People trying to get a quick buck because they know K-pop fans. They think, oh, K-pop show. K-pop fans will just pay anything for a K-pop show. Let's charge them like $170 for a ticket, and I don't know, just hire a bunch of groups. Like it should be easy. It's easy money. What do we know? Who needs to know how to run a live event? That's easy stuff. Just invite the groups, let them play on stage.
Yeah.
The place has a built-in sound equipment, right? We don't have to do it.
And then, well, yeah. So, like one of the shady things you talked about that was put in this article, according to someone's Twitter, is that like the event organizers gave them the hotel information for the groups, maybe in an intent to like make it seem more hype, but like that's a pretty shady.
Yeah,
shady thing.
So like he kept promising fans stuff he would not be able to do, fan meets and photos. He physically brought fans to the hotel. He tried to talk to the Wembley staff about it, but it was no use. To add what my friend witnessed, and I'm quoting the Twitter user, So I had one of my friend witness regarding the hotel visits. Joshua was staying in the same hotel as Monsta X. He told fans stuff like he knows what Monsta X is doing right now, that they're having breakfast. Monsta X had little to no security with them. They walked to the arena. Fans ran after them. And on top of all that, for the poor fellows in Monsta X, their transportation had crashed into a pole.
Oh, that is so loud.
Yeah. It's just insult to injury. I wish there was recent. So the big thing, recently, and K-pop is not the only one that has to deal with shady live event organizers. Evidenced by the fact that the Game Grumps, since they've been doing live event stuff and Game Grumps live and stuff like that, Aaron started advertising that they're doing a new live event organization company of the Game Grumps people. It's not they're trying to not have it be with anything the Game Grumps name, because they actually want to have it be
standalone alone.
Yeah. And it makes sense, but let me
event organizing is just one of those things. I don't know how people get into that or how they get that job, but I know people who say they're event organizers, right? And you're just it's always a very odd situation. You know what I mean? Because I think it's one of those things that people do because there's money in it, but there's no training to it. There's no. I don't know, and I've never heard of a reputable event planner outside of wedding planning. You know what I mean? And shit like that, or organizations that do it themselves. So when you always hear these third parties that do these things, or party planners, or all this kind of shit, it's just always very odd, and it seems like a weird mystery job.
And a lot of it comes from these companies wanting to just get a quick buck off of the fact that K-pop fans, especially all of them being young.
Well, but yeah, like you said, even outside of that, right? Not even just K-pop fans, just these companies
and
find ways to put on events and contact these people and people who want to do things, right? There could be a point, and I've even thought about one day doing a dig if presented I would love to do a Dignation style go to do an event kind of thing, how they used to do. Then you're how do you put that on? Do I have to call a venue? Do you and then you start looking into that, and you'll get oh, hey, here's an event planner, and you're okay, that's a person I need to contact. But it's hard, it's rough, it's weird.
Yeah. So I'm the company that they started, Real Good Touring, realgoodtouring.com. It's hard to fit on my little usual our little overlay, but I've got a realgoodtouring.com. It's they are at least claiming, and I trust them. It was founded by Aaron Hansen and Brent Lilly, who are kind of the minds behind Game Grumps, and because they were kind of well, we want to put on these live shows because we don't want to rely on YouTube for revenue streams. But we started dealing with these live event organizers, and a lot of them, or all of them, are shady. So it's well, why don't we just do it ourselves? Learn how to do it and do it ourselves. Because they do music as well. And probably had resources Danny Sexbang, who is a musician, and so they know some stuff, and they know people, and they have connections. So I this is not an advertisement for Real Good Touring, because obviously they don't need it. They're the Game Grumps people. They don't need our advertising. But I wish something like them would do all of the K-pop stuff. I wish I want to refer to them. I know Love Exterior, a group that I love, is considering like touring this like the States at some point this year, and I'm like, I wonder if they can like if I can like hook them up like so that they don't get screwed over, so I can get them taken care of like yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's one of those like stark contrasts. It makes me glad that my K-pop experiences have been good, mainly because the card show I went to was fine, despite kind of having lame merch, but the show went fine. And all the other K-pop experiences have been at South by Southwest. It's like, which is a lot more professional environment. Like, they don't get like, any of that shit fly. That goes off without like a machine. Yeah. All the best to I don't know. Well, what can you say? Stop it, people. All right, moving on.
Go to the next.
Next up, some more stupidity. Next up, BTS fans shut down Toronto radio station wanting to make a K-pop hour due to reasons. Another Asian Junkie article. So Hits 93 Toronto, which claims to be Canada's most followed radio station, recently wanted to dedicate an hour of their broadcast to K-pop. Sounds like a rather innocuous idea, right? Well, apparently not. Then they had, which turns to this apology Twitter thread. Says, I'd like to comment on the tweet posted yesterday regarding his playing K-pop once a day for an hour. When I posted the tweet, I did not intend to offend. In fact, I intended to help promote bigger acts and smaller acts from Korea and beyond during that K-pop hour. However, after careful considerations, I've come to the conclusion that it would be wise to continue plans for a K-pop hour considering the outpouring of opinions on this matter. I and the team at Hits 93 Toronto understand and appreciate the comments sent to us. As such, we have decided to yield your warnings and pull the plug on this week's Where Did It chart and the K-pop hour. I did not mean to offend nor attack any opinions on this and have since removed this week's Where Did It chart from our site and have opted to remove any K-pop songs from the playlist as per your suggestions. I sincerely apologize for the turmoil my tweet has caused. Victor and the team of Hits 93 Toronto. So, the account appeared to have deleted earlier tweets, but the replies to this apology to K-pop fans for wanting to create a K-pop hour. I love this. Stop laughing, seriously. Tell me that it has to do with BTS fans not wanting EXO to ride on their coattails or something like that. So, once again, that dumbass fanware. I'm quoting, by the way, I'm saying this all quoting the Asian Junkie article.
Yeah.
And you see these victory tweets from the armies. So it's like, ow!
It basically just boils down to people being dumb, and to me, like the giving in of this marketing director, right? Like this dude just straight gave in. He caved so quickly. It's
like this is so dumb. So like if you look at the victory tweet that I'm talking about, it says armies won. The K-pop community will not get a free ride for our hard work. Now focus on important radio station. It's like this is so silly. Like imagine if like say a radio station wanted to do a nerdcore hour. And the Mega Ran fandom, because he's kind of the one that's leading the charge right now, shut them down and like say, no, you will only play Mega Ran if you play anything at all. You will not be playing Samus or Shape for the Dark Lord. Like you would never see that happen.
Well, I don't know what it is about idol fandom that doesn't allow them to understand like. Without what comes before does not come what you like. Yeah. You know what I mean? Without other acts does not come what you like. Without an EXO existing, you don't get a BTS. Without a Big Bang existing, you don't get a BTS. You know what I mean? Right? Because if everything came down to that one group, we'd all just still be listening to Sataiji and the boys, like, because it would just be, it could only be Sataiji and the boys, and as they get older, we'll bring in new people depending on if the fans of Sataiji and the boys like them. You know what I mean? Like you don't understand that without competition, without these things, you would have never gotten a BTS, right? Like without BTS not showing so well in some of their albums, they wouldn't have decided to change their music style or their stylings and things like that. Like there's a lot of it that it without those other things, you don't have the thing that you like. So growing the stuff together, like make K-pop grow internationally together, like it makes it better as a whole. Like be smart about how you do this. Now that radio station is not going to play K-pop at all, so you're not going to gain new fans that would have heard it on that radio station and been like, you know what, I like K-pop or I like this and I want to hear more of it and want to get to know it and stuff like that. You know,
yeah, I think
you've lost your chance at the ability to gain. You've only lost.
Yeah, like, and then but like they seem fine with it because there's like the scorched earth. It's like the problem comes down to is fandoms are stupid. Like it just comes down to like the fandom versus say the community mentality. Like it's all these fandoms, and like and you get into like these arguments, and like they got into if you go to the actual thread of that tweet, and which is no longer up, but when it was up, when you went to that thread, and a lot of it was the back and forth, was like them being salty about people telling them that they shouldn't they shouldn't seek Western validation, and then therefore like, okay, now since we were right, y'all can't like change your mind, and this since we were right about seeking Western validation, which we weren't right, but whatever. You can't ride our coattails. This is all about BTS, so not about you. And it's like, can't we all just like K-pop? Like
but that's why
maybe
you have
this
to
is why K-pop won't rise. Like it makes you think like, well, no. This is why K-pop won't succeed, because it's all going to be always about the fandoms bickering and backbiting each other, and there is no community.
That's the reason for this is the thing I say, right? You have the vocal, or not I say, but people say, you have the vocal minority over what is the actual majority, right? I think a majority of actual K-pop fans are a community, right? And that's just across the board. I think the vocal is the minority, and they're just very vocal, right? Yeah. Because they seek each other out, right? And they make these loud vocalizations because they stand together and they decide to make those loud vocalizations, right? Like me and you are sitting here talking about this. The Asian Junkie article is sitting here talking about this from probably the same perspective we have, but we're not a collective. We're individualized, right? If we were as a collective of a K-pop community, like with all the other YouTubers out there who probably poo-poo these things, and all the other K-pop podcasts out here who are probably laughing at these things and like, God damn, these people are fucking idiots, we'd be a lot more of a vocal majority. You know what I mean? Like, but we all sit here individualized, shaking our heads at these people because we allow them to be the vocal minority. We allow it. We allow it to happen. We don't shut it down. We don't seek to stop it, because one, the community that I spoke of need those things to happen, because then we wouldn't have content to talk about, right? So or we'd have less outside of K-pop content to talk about.
Yeah.
so it makes it hard in that sense. But I think in a way, and I just think it's a thing that needs to happen. Like, we need to start being a more vocal minority and speaking out against these things, and when these things happening, jumping into these threads and having the arguments with them and having the things that, like, yo, I am a K-pop fan and you don't represent me. Like, these people are idiots. I think you should have an hour of talking about international music and where it comes from and what it is and who's making it and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like allow that to happen. Let that happen. That's cool. So you know, we can sit here and poo-poo these people all we want, but if we're not going to do anything about it, then talking about it doesn't mean anything to me.
Yeah. We need, and I think I'll down to this less. I don't know about less, but like less fandom mentality and more community mentality is the big thing. Like, we need to
but we have to make that, right? We can't just say that we want that to exist. Like, we have to be an active part of that for it to exist.
Yeah. So there needs we need to have more of that. We need to make more of that. So let
gotta come together. Much like this next story.
Yes, come together. All right, last story. This is just interesting. I don't know how much we're gonna have an insight in this, but this is just almost kind of fascinating from a business analysis standpoint. SM, JYP, and Big Hit to launch joint music enterprise. SM Entertainment, JYP Entertainment, and Big Hit Entertainment will be collaborating for a joint business. The three entertainment agencies, along with SK Telecom, owners of the SK Wyverns, if you see the hat right down there, let's go Wyverns.
Or SKT1, the winning team in League of Legends.
Exactly. Held an agreement ceremony on January 31st to launch their collaboration for B2B, business-to-business music distribution, and B2C, business-to-consumer music service platform. The agreement was carried forward to establish a virtuous cycle for content creation and production, create a more efficient and industry-friendly ecosystem, and offer a new and different music service that uses technologies like AI and blockchain. Blockchain. Beginning on February 1st, the B2B business-to-business distribution of JYP and Big Hit's album and digital music contents will be done through SK Telecom subsidiary iRiver. Different from the traditional music distribution system, the three agencies will actively participate in this distribution process, establish policies for the supply and distribution of content, and work on internalizing the system. This aims to help the development of businesses in the industry in the long run. They will also consider blockchain technology for the protection of music copyrights and increase transparency of transaction records. Only the three entertainment agencies will participate in the partnership for now, but as the system is tested out and improved, it is expected to slowly expand throughout the year with other agencies who are interested. This is a picture of the dudes. This is Kim Young-min, Han Se-min, the actual CEO of JYP, Jungkook, and Big Hit Entertainment CEO Bang Si-hyuk, with SK Telecom's No Jung-won. They have a nice little picture of that.
So I think it's interesting. I think this is more of the cover of technology and things like that. But I think this now leads us down a road of possibility, right? Where we could start to see maybe some of those like collaborations that we've always talked about between certain people. Because we've always said, or it's always been shown like, these two people are friends and they're friends with this person and the person is friends with this person, but they can't work together because they're on two different labels, right? Or some weird thing a weird agreement has to be reached. For people to collaborate together.
Yeah, I think that could be a cool thing. I think a big thing about this is going to be about like, all right, what's it going to mean for, like distribution and where things go. Like
you now have to pay Bitcoin to get that new hot BTS track. Better start mining, bitch.
JYP's music is going to be on Spotify, but while you play it, your computer is going to be mining Bitcoin. It's the blockchain. Goddamn blockchain. It's fucking why. You know the funny thing is, I was actually thinking about building a computer this year. Nah, that ain't gonna happen. Ain't no graphics cards anywhere. There ain't no graphics cards. Remember when we had graphics cards? They used to have these things called graphics cards that you can just buy and put in your computer, and you can play video games with them.
Yeah, it's going to get to a point with computer technology where, like, motherfuckers on the street corner are going to stop selling drugs. They're going to start selling computer parts, dog.
Yeah.
You're not going to come up to you and be like, yo, got that weed. No, you're not going to hear that anymore. You're going to be like, yo, got that Core i7. What? Oh, you got the Core i7?
Yo, you got a 1070, yo. You got a 1070 Ti, yo. Fresh off the truck. They're going to be knocking over NVIDIA trucks. Like you go the next Fast and the Furious movie. It's going to be a scene where like drive up like 3 cars driving up trying to bust open an NVIDIA truck, get them like them cards right out of there. It's like it's all for the blockchain, you know.
Be like, yo. Let me get 2 TIs, man. I gotta get that new BTS track, man.
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting from what this does for the business, because obviously this is not just about the music labels, because these are pretty big labels and big hit. So it's going to be about not just from music. It's going to be about like movies, TV shows, doing things on the web. Probably going to be about like pushing like content distribution, audio, video on the web and in other formats, and how they collaborate on that stuff. It's going to be, and the big thing is I think the big thing is for these companies is that now it's going to be about streamlining it for them, which is going to because they're going to be a little bit more, because they're used to being, all right, we make the thing. Now they go to the other company. It's like, all right, put it out. And then the other company puts it out. So now this is going to be more like, all right, we put it out. All right, do it this way, do it that way. Put it out to this, with this, that, and the other thing. It'll be more like intertwined.
And I think that'll be interesting.
Good, bad, we don't know, but interesting nonetheless.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what it actually means.
Yeah, so we'll see. That being said, this blockchain of K-pop podcast goodness is over. Kaz, what do you got going on in the world? What's going on?
My favorite thing, my favorite production, not to say that this isn't one of them, but Sports Odds and Ends with my good friend JVZ. We talk about the ins and outs of the sporting world. We oddly enough are starting to talk more and more about esports as everyone tries to get into that market. And it's getting very interesting.
Have you discussed the XFL yet?
We did also discuss the XFL. So if you want to hear my thoughts on the XFL and how it's actually the greatest Vince McMahon versus the NFL, which is my take on it. I'm taking it as it's Vince McMahon versus the NFL.
It's Vince McMahon and Trump versus the NFL.
And JVZ had different thoughts as to what they think this iteration of the XFL would be, as we also did compare it to itself. So that's an interesting hot take on that newest episode of Sports Odds and Ends. So go check that out.
It's Vince McMahon and Trump versus the NFL. If you really want to break it down, sportsoddsands.com. He's at King Kaz, if I can make the words sound. He's at King Kaz. I'm at PD Rave. The show is Hallyujuku. kpoppodcast.com is another way to get there. It's a great way to share with your friends if you're just talking to them about this podcast. You don't have to try to spell the Hallyujuku.
Well, didn't I tell you? Don't you know?
Just give them kpoppodcast.com. Share them with them. Yeah, Rebelli TV on YouTube and other places. And like a Twitch. Roll down there for this and other shows. Subscribe, like, share. We're places where you find podcasts.
Give it to me straight, Doctor.
Until next time. Hasta los huevos.
Give it to me straight, Doctor.
Annyeong. Fighting.
Why, I think you're crazy.